Doctors are going to be replaced by doctors who are using AI. If I'm running a hospital or a practice and I'm hiring doctors, am I going to hire the radiologist that refuses to adapt AI in his practice, or the radiologist that works 100 times faster? Maybe 5% difference, but you would barely know that it wasn't me talking and saying whatever I tell this AI model to say.
That's insane.
Like if I died, that you would be able to sell my organs as long as I've written permission
that's
before
what I'm
that.
saying. If it's
instead of them just taking it for free. Welcome back, man. We have a special guest. We've been super excited to have you, honestly. I feel like you're like family. Like every time
I feel that way too.
Same.
Every time we meet, we just have such good conversations. And
He's got this like positive vibes. Like it's literally this kind of this sensation. Every time we're with him, like it's just this positive energy that
like he
that
makes
I
you
get
feel
from
like you could do anything.
Doesn't make me blush.
Yeah, for real. Like you're very positive. Like you find
people.
good things in everyone. That's one thing I noticed. Like when we were at the conference, like you kind of find good things about each person, and I love that about you.
Thank you. On the way here, I was driving, the Tesla drives itself. I was having a conversation with somebody who I haven't talked to for a while, and everything was just negativity from that person. I had to be like, yo, like hit me up when it's positive. I hope things turn around for you.
Yeah.
But thank you. I try and keep everything in my life positive, upbeat. I'm always in a pretty good mood. My girl's the same way. I think it's the best way to live. Thank you for noticing that. I try to live like that every day.
No, I love that. And the first time you got brought up was a long time ago. I was on social media. I was watching your stuff, and I was like, you don't see much doctors on social media. Yeah. And if you do, not in a bad way, and it's not a disrespectful way, it's boring. Like 5 seconds, I'm bored. It's like, did you know about IBS? Like, it's just boring. Yours was just like exciting, and like your graphics was ahead of its curve, and everything else was so well put. And I'm like this is awesome. I want to do something like this because I feel like it's possible as long as you have the right connections and the right people.
Yeah, and it's time, it's practice. Yeah. And I agree with what you're saying. Doctors usually have to live, between some very straight lines, which makes it boring.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, I agree.
Medicine in general, it can be boring unless you bring some excitement to it. Honestly, Dr. Mike on YouTube, he was like our kind of the first person that we were like,
of course, me too.
This dude is awesome. He's fun. His page, his logo is just so cool. Just loved everything he did. He was connecting with everybody, man.
Well, you got to find it's hard to find doctors who have really good personalities and are good doctors at the same time. And then if you do find good doctors with good personalities, they don't like the camera, so, or they'll get really anxious in front of the camera. But I feel like maybe these days, a lot of these young doctors are finally starting to understand that you can have a great personality. You could do a lot of PR. You could do advertising, marketing. You could have a podcast and still practice or not practice, depending on what you really love to do. And that's something that I want to talk to you about because to let him to introduce
tell us a little bit
about Otter PR. And I know that you guys are doing fantastic things. It's out of St. Pete, correct?
Yeah, we have headquarters in St. Pete. We have an office in Orlando. Bought a building for the team over there in 2023.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, I know we connected way back in the day. I was doing a medical podcast.
Nice.
So obviously got my foot in with you guys back when I was still in medical school, I think. And I was running a podcast called Specialty Collective.
Oh, cool.
Where I had a bunch of different specialties on my show talking about what the real life was like in urology, facial plastics, anesthesia. And that actually did really well. And my Instagram blew
People
up
love that. Yeah.
when I was in medical school. Everyone loved to follow my medical school journey. During medical school, I actually started what is now Otter PR. It was a medical marketing company called Instalete at the time, and was using my marketing skills to help doctors, clinics, some hospitals with their social media, with their paid advertising, and that kind of exploded. And
beautiful.
Everybody needs that because we don't know enough about it.
Especially doctors, especially clinics. Man, doctors are like
the worst with technology
for marketers.
Business because we just don't know how to.
You are gazelles.
Yeah,
100%.
There's a lot of money coming in, a lot of income potential.
Yep.
And doctors are typically really bad at marketing, business development. Horrible. So
we hate it too. It's not just horrible. It's there's no passion.
Yeah.
Right. And so I was able to really go and help those people. It scaled very nicely. I had a co-founder named Scott, and needless to say, got distracted during medical school. didn't achieve my dream of becoming a plastic surgeon like grandma always wanted.
I could have seen you look like a plastic surgeon,
I
honestly.
can see you being a plastic surgeon.
I had a lot of fun shadowing plastic surgeons. I had that vision in my mind for being a plastic surgeon. Spent a lot of time shadowing plastic surgeons.
Yeah.
Make enough money and go back and do it. Like I know that sounds really weird.
Horrible. 10, go back and
Okay, never mind.
I
That
gotta
sounds
do that
horrible.
shit.
Yeah, go back, start
Working 12
over.
hours a day, and it's like
Yeah.
Never
I'm
mind.
good
Never
studying.
mind. I did
Yeah.
see somebody do that though. I seen a guy go into business, made ton of money, and then he went back
Yeah.
and he got his specialty, and then he
I
just
think
did what
about
he
it all the
loved.
time, like going back, taking my step 3, getting board certified in something. But to respect, like knowing myself, transparency, and understanding what I would be good at, knowing my strengths and weaknesses, I think I would have been a terrible surgeon. I'm not very detail oriented. I like to build things, get things done really quickly, and then hand them off to my team.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes
So
sense.
I think that would have been a massive risk.
He also
as a-
might
as
have
a
not been
surgeon.
happy. I feel like a lot of times, even med students, like when I talk to them, like you see like a specialty, but just like Grey's Anatomy or something,
Yeah.
but you're not like seeing what the actual lifestyle is. Like I love plastic surgery, I love dermatology. Just like you're just saying the word, but like actually living every single day in general surgery, plastic surgery, dermatology, even it's
Yeah.
not what you think it is.
My
Yeah, I
dermatology
agree.
rotation, I was expecting, Botox, cosmetics,
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah,
see
of
these
course.
crazy things.
Oh yeah.
Cancer.
No, it was horrible.
It was
I spent
horrible.
most
It's
of the
the worst,
time
bro.
looking
It's
under a
rash.
microscope
Yep.
at
It's the
histology
constant-
slides.
yeah,
I was like,
it's
this
constant
sucks.
rash.
I
So
hate
boring.
this.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, 95% of every specialty is literally the same thing every day. Think
Yeah.
about it. It's constantly the same thing. It's that 5% window that you might see something interesting in that you, okay, this is challenging a little bit. Let me
Yeah.
work on it. But come on, think about us. I mean, in geriatrics, hypertensive diabetics, and that's a BPH. That's all we see, or acute problems, abdominal pain, headaches. Yeah, but how often do you see something where you're like, oh my God, this is challenging. I'm gonna go back and read my old books and see what this is. It's
Yeah.
you don't.
You don't really. I think one thing about geriatrics is older folks really appreciate it, and like
Yeah.
I think I love having. I feel like every patient is like my grandfather or my grandmother, and like I feel like I have 1,000 grandparents, and
Yeah.
it's so nice, especially working with veterans. I love veterans, like
Yeah.
especially Marines. Like when they develop such a good relationship with you, like that connection is like amazing.
I will say I miss that. Going home from work and being like, I did some real good shit today.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
really
exactly.
impacted
For real,
some
for
people.
real. Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't feel that with my current job, but I'd say my overall happiness is much better.
Yeah.
When you're in medical school, and you guys probably felt this too, like you're trying to decide what specialty to go into, and you're doing all these rotations, and you walk into some like the plastic surgeon's office, and you're like, oh, we're reconstructing this. We're doing breast implants.
Yeah.
You're like, this is awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Sick.
really cool. You do it for a
Yeah.
month. You're like, I kind of want to do that. You go to ortho. First time walking into an ortho surgery is like, hey, med student, grab this hammer.
boss.
Yeah,
Start
exactly.
banging. Like,
Bam.
Hell yeah.
Feels so
this
good.
is awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Because
But
you're switching.
Yeah.
You're not
switching.
in one thing.
Right, but there's glimpses of excitement in
Yeah, it
some
is.
specialties that I did not see in other. I did a radiological, horrible.
It's the worst thing in the world.
Honestly, like
I'd be
no offense
depressed
to
in a month.
radiologists, there's no way. I would not last a month. There's
Hell
no
no. You're
way.
in a dark room every single day of your life.
That's why they're kind of like
Yeah.
have no, not all of them,
There's
but most
stereotypes,
of them,
right?
yeah,
Yeah. They're not all like that, but usually like family members that we have that are radiologists are not
Yeah.
really the most personable.
they're really not.
people.
They're
Well,
really
that's why
not.
they probably go into that. I mean,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, I have to have bedside manner as a doctor. No, you
Yeah.
don't.
Nope.
Well, you
Or
called it.
anesthesia, same thing, really.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, you called it. It's these small glimpses or episodes that
Yeah.
you really enjoy, but the majority of it is documentation. And then there's risk, there's compliance, there's
there's
the
so
extra
much-
hours.
oh my
It's
God.
like how much. Sometimes you think about it. The money is always good in medicine. I personally believe. Yeah, you make a good base salary, but the reality of it is it consumes you. It really does
I
consume
feel like
you.
notes is the worst. Like I would say the number one thing that I would change in medicine is documentation.
Yeah.
It's the worst part of medicine.
It is, it
if
is.
I had a chance to see as much patients as possible without having to document, I really don't think I would ever leave medicine.
This is what made me hate
I
medicine.
hate
Yeah.
documentation, bro.
Yeah. So I ended up going into a family medicine residency, doing a year in that residency, and I was fucking miserable.
It
I
is.
think for that exact reason. I mentioned I wasn't meticulous. I would see patients, have great patient rapport. They loved me. I never made any clinical mistakes. But every time I'd come back and have to document and just get like reamed out because of one thing you'd miss in a note.
You're always
Yeah.
worried about getting
Bullshit.
sued too.
Yeah,
like,
everyone's
how
worried
do
about
I
getting sued.
document this without getting sued? Like,
Yeah.
I had a patient the other day. Like, his girlfriend broke up with him, and she called and said, "Hey, he just told me he wants to kill himself." I'm like, what do I do now? Like,
Yeah.
okay, he's not in my office. He's at home. How do I document this? So like instead of me, and this sounds bad, like I am worried about the patient,
Right.
but I'm also worried that if this dude kills himself
You're gonna
get
and I
sued.
don't do the right thing, I'm gonna lose my whole life.
You
You
have
know?
to be worried.
Yeah.
And so like, what do I do in this situation? Is he just upset because his girlfriend broke up with him? Does he really want to kill himself? Do I call the cops? Do I not call the cops? Like a lot of this stuff you're also not taught. Like,
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
honest with you, like, yeah, you
Yeah.
learn it in books,
You
but
read
when,
it, but
when it's in front of you, it's a whole
it's
different
different.
ball game.
It's
Yeah,
different.
you're not
for real.
taught until you misdocument, and your superior is also
Yeah.
worried about getting sued since they're signing off on all
Exactly.
your shit.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
always worried.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't blame them for the way that it is. I mean, they're worried about getting sued. It's massive amounts of money and time at risk.
Yeah.
Do you think AI would change that though?
Yeah, I
Like,
was
do you
gonna
feel like
ask
it's going to get to a point where AI can just literally record everything that happens in the visit?
The
Or
way
is
that
it
I'm
too
using
far?
AI in my business right now, I absolutely
Yeah.
will it get that way with regulations? I don't know. There's so many.
Compliance.
There's going to be regulations and compliance, and I don't think
Yeah.
humans will completely be replaced because there's still going to be some factors that in things that you need to change, especially for documentation. But that's a good question. It's because if you think about it, think right now if you had an AI or something that's going to type your complete note for you, how would it do it?
I mean, I think it would just summarize it, right? Like, so you walk in, what are you here for? Oh, I'm having right knee pain. Okay, how long have you had the knee pain? You ask them the questions, and I think it learns how to put it in a template, like chief complaint, HPI, review of system, physical exam, assessment plan. And I think it learns how to plot it for you the same way you document it.
But is it a questionnaire or is it going to be recording while you're in the room with the patient?
I think it records while you're in there, but it just takes the info you need. What are you here for? Chief complaint, right knee pain. HPI, it summarizes it, and then you just say, hey, listen, I'm going to do a knee injection for you today. In the knee injection, I put 3 of lidocaine, 2 of Kenalog. I'm going to use this much needle. You can even just say it, so it all documents.
Right.
So a lot of it is just
Dictation will be
repetitive.
first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then it dictates all for you, so you walk out of the room and it's done.
Right.
So it'll say a 55-year-old male patient came into the office complaining of
Yeah,
left knee pain
exactly.
and just
it'll,
like that.
It'll take the history of everything, and then it can also take the past medical history instead of you having to type it in family history.
Yes.
Everything is already plotted in it.
What about like
It'd
Medicare
be cool to
and
even
guidelines?
create it ourselves.
Because Medicare, they don't want you to copy and paste previous notes, for example.
But that's
How
the
does
best
that going
part.
to take into
That's the best part of it.
Because it won't be the
Because
same?
They're
there's
fresh
no
notes every
way
time.
it is a 0% chance of copy paste.
Okay,
And
okay.
they can't say it because every visit is different. Even if
Yeah.
you said the exact same thing, they cannot use that against you. Whereas now, if you're doing a full capture, which is for us, we got to document all the codes.
Right.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do take similar templates and just kind of just fill it in.
Yeah.
This would eliminate it.
Yeah.
I think scribes for sure replaced.
Yeah,
Doctors
for
will
sure.
not be replaced by AI. I think doctors are going to be replaced by doctors who are using AI and doctors
Yes.
who are proficient
Agreed.
with AI.
That's actually a good way you say that.
Oh, that's
Absolutely.
actually a perfect answer.
Yeah, that's a great
I never
answer.
even thought
I
about
never
that.
thought about that
Because
way.
people have asked me that. They're like, do you think doctors will be replaced? But
Yeah.
no, they'll be replaced with doctors that use AI.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
If
a
I'm-
great
If
answer.
I'm running a hospital or a practice and I'm hiring doctors, am I going to hire the radiologist that refuses to adapt AI in his practice or the
Yeah.
radiologist that works 100 times faster?
Exactly.
Wow.
Because he already has a pre-diagnosis ready. Just got to go confirm it,
Yeah.
check things off.
For sure,
That's actually-
for sure,
that's
resources.
really
I
smart.
think
I
a
never even
lot of
thought
it, the
about it.
doctors and the radiologists are just going to be maybe fixing what AI created, right? Like, okay, you'll go over a note. If the AI completely did a whole progress note for me, my job would be like right afterwards just to kind of skim through and make sure everything's
Exactly.
legit. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But
Yeah.
if you think about radiologists, I mean, there's no way, and no disrespect to radiologists, there's no way they're going to be better than AI.
Yeah,
Like, you
yeah.
think about it, a lady that gets a mammogram, and AI has all of the mammograms since she was 30 years old.
Yeah.
And realizes, hey, that I noticed there was a growth. It looks like this. It's
Yep.
a little bit bigger. This is what you should do. Kind of
Compared-
better than radiologists.
Exactly.
A radiologist can be tired one day and miss it.
And miss it, for
You
sure.
can make that argument about any specialty.
Yeah,
I
for
mean,
real,
are you going
for
to be
real.
better than AI when it can look over and know their whole chart?
Yeah.
Like what the correct diagnosis and protocol is? I don't know.
Yeah.
Or trends in GFRs, trends
Yeah.
in blood sugar levels.
Yeah,
right?
it
It'll
can trend
just
it all
tell you,
for
oh,
you.
the risk of this patient having diabetes is 42%.
It has data
You see
from
what I'm saying?
all
Data just-
previous patients. That
Exactly.
I think
Compared-
the
Yeah.
reason that I think that I'm not saying it could replace, but it's going to be a problem is that telemedicine, right?
Yeah.
So telemedicine during COVID just brought a whole different world, and people started realizing like, if I have an upper respiratory infection or if I have a specific infection, I don't need the doctor to be with me. I could just face him or not even face him, just tell him my symptoms and treat it.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't an AI system like ask a questionnaire like, what do you have? I have this, and it answers everything you would ask, and then prints
Yeah.
out a script or sends it directly to the pharmacy. and you don't need to see the doctor really.
I think that AI will be a great resource for people who are young, on the go, working, don't have time. But for our case, I still believe a lot of people will still like that doctor-patient interaction.
Yeah.
They still want to go into the doctor's office. Like a lot of our patients, bro. They've been sitting there for 3 months waiting to come and see you, for example, right? You know, they're so excited to leave the house.
They
to go
like
see
the
the doctor.
hangout part. A lot of my patients just want to hang
Exactly.
out.
If it's a computer, they're not gonna enjoy
They
it.
just
You
want to
know?
know definitively, like what the expert wants, what the answer is.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's had a rash on her back for like a month, and I'm like, it's that.
Yeah.
Talked to my doctor friend. He's like, it's that. She had a dermatologist appointment today. The dermatologist says it's that. She's like, all right, so much relief.
Yeah.
I finally heard from a
Same
dermatologist.
people. Yeah, I agree 100%.
They just want that definitive answer. They want to hear it from the expert.
Yeah.
Once they get it, they're good. But I don't think they'll be satisfied with AI. But
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah,
the way it's
I
going,
agree.
Scary.
I'm curious to see how AI is adapted.
Yeah.
I think it will get to a point
I
where
agree.
like the AI
gonna
says
be
it's
scary.
that. Fuck, the doctor
just
answer.
learns.
Yeah, what's
If
the
the AI
point?
says it's this, I don't need to see a doctor.
Yeah,
Their
for
doctor's
sure.
probably wrong.
AI is
for
not
sure.
tired. AI doesn't have a million things. They didn't work last night. They weren't on
How
call.
could this person know nearly as much as this AI does that has
Yeah.
all this historical
Scary,
data
though.
For
and
sure.
pictures in their databases?
For
And
sure.
How
it's
do you
true.
use AI? I'm just curious.
Oh man.
I want to know, like, how do you? How
Give
do
us
you
an
use it?
example of like how you use it for your business.
So I've got a team running my Instagram account right now.
Yeah.
And there's a tool called heygen.com.
Okay.
And you can record a video of yourself, 2 minutes, just talking to the camera using hand motions. After those 2 minutes, it processes the video in about 5 minutes. I can type in whatever I want into this AI avatar that I've created. And now it is a maybe 5% difference, but you would barely know that it wasn't me talking and saying whatever I tell
Wait, what
this
are you
AI model to
is-
say.
That's insane.
And it would take you, and it would make it look like you're the one talking.
Yep, it's my video, it's my voice, and it clones it in 2 minutes, and you can type in whatever you want it to say.
That's insanity.
So now my
crazy.
content
That's
team can make
insanity.
short form content with me talking, and as long as it's like me not talking the whole time and it's vertical short form, you cannot tell that it's AI generated. And this is 1 year in. By next year, this thing's going to be
gonna blow up.
absolutely insane.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be ridiculous.
I think being ahead of the curve is so important. One of our cousins is like you, like he's so obsessed with AI and he uses it for everything.
Yeah.
And like I feel like if you're not like starting it early, you're gonna fall behind.
Yeah.
And
100%.
That's my biggest worry. I feel like we know, but like not like that depth.
Yeah.
Any recommendation on what to start with? Like for a beginner, if you were to give advice for a beginner starting anything with AI, what would you recommend?
Go play with ChatGPT.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
Play
get
with
in there,
it.
start asking it questions,
Yeah.
start
Yeah.
thinking about what you do in your day-to-day life, where you have to write something, where you have to answer something, where you have to come up with a spreadsheet formula. You'll be shocked at what it can do.
Yeah.
It generates images, it analyzes images, it works in Excel.
It's ridiculous.
You'd be absolutely shocked what it can do. Scripts, questions
kinda
for this
cool.
podcast.
How's that gonna replace people who are actively working?
It's not. It's going to replace people who are. They're going to get replaced by people who are using AI. It's a tool.
Okay.
I mean, it's nothing without the person.
Yeah.
Now I will say, like my writing staff.
They're
Oh, am I gonna pay three
How-
people this much when AI can do every?
Right.
AI
Exactly.
does everything, man. It's like
Yeah, it's like
If you
It's
know
so
how
funny
to prompt
because-
it, it's just like a tool. If you know how to
Yeah.
use that tool, it is absurd.
for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even for Christmas, like
Yeah.
my staff, I was like, write me a nice little thing about Kim. She does this, and I wrote it. And like Christmas, they're like, Dr. Jabawi,
You're so
this
sweet."
was so thoughtful, well written. Like it's every
There's a
use it
South
day
Park
to day.
episode where
I
they-
hope don't watch this, guys. I hope
gonna
they don't
watch it.
watch
It's gonna be
this.
funny, bro.
I'm busted.
Have you seen the South Park episode where they discovered ChatGPT and all the little kids
No,
are
I
writing their
God, I
girlfriends' love
haven't.
letters using ChatGPT?
I haven't seen it.
It was everyone needs to go watch it.
I love
It's
it. I'm
gonna
like
watch
the,
it
the definition of what kids in
It's a
school
newer
are probably
episode?
going. Yeah, I think it was 2023 episode.
Okay,
but it
nice.
was when ChatGPT blew up. South Park did an episode on it, and it was hilarious.
Oh my God,
I'm not a
that's
usual South
hilarious.
Park watcher, but someone said you need to go watch this
They
episode.
say a lot of true
Yeah.
things, man.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
crazy. I
I can't,
started
I
watch-
can't imagine being a kid, like going through middle school, high school right
oh my
now
God, dude.
with
They're
ChatGPT.
gonna
So
be
easy.
way
I
ahead.
can't
of the
imagine
curve.
being a teacher.
It's
Yeah.
so easy.
Have you seen that new Apple? What's that thing? The
Vision?
Yeah,
Yeah, Vision
that is
Pro.
insane. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
Is you literally put it on and it's like
Have you played with
computer.
it?
No, I have not. But I've just watched a lot. I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah.
I wanted to buy it for my birthday this year because they're releasing it. But I was
What,
like,
isn't
let
it
me.
like $3,000 or
It's,
something?
it's very expensive.
3,400.
And I don't
That's
know how
insanity.
much the utility is there.
But, like,
it's really cool. I think it's the first
just wanted
big
to be
step
ahead of
forward in
the curve
augmented
and just-
reality.
Bro,
But is
it's
it
like
like
you
another
literally
Apple
sit down
product that's
and
kind of
just-
like the same thing as everything else, or is it just what does it really do?
You get to
Like-
use your computer without a computer.
Yeah.
So basically, I mean, I can type up whatever I want.
No, everything.
What?
You put
With
it
your
on.
fingers.
You move your screen. You play the music. Anything
Seriously?
you want. Anything you want.
It
insane.
sees your fingers typing, knows exactly where you're typing.
That's
you can be
insane.
sitting on a plane with this thing, just
And it
like
just-
working.
Yeah, just
With
working.
this thing on your face with no computer, watching a movie.
That is
But
crazy.
FaceTiming
it's gonna
somebody.
get really bad for people to interact. Like it's
Yeah,
already
bro,
turned
we're gonna be a
awkward.
I
bunch
don't
of
know if it's
robots.
going to catch on. I mean, we're looking at virtual reality technology,
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
Oculus.
Yeah.
I have an Oculus. I bought one years ago.
Totally.
It's sitting there
It's
as a
sitting-
display
I literally
rack,
used
as
it
a-
3
as
times.
a decoration.
Yeah.
I returned it a month later.
Is
'cause-
augmented reality going to catch on? I have no idea.
I don't know. It gives me vertigo, to be honest with you.
Do you feel like at one point people are gonna revert and say like this is too much? Let's go back old school. Because a lot of trends go back to like old school trends. Like, do you think it's gonna get to a point where like technology isn't as cool and like let's go back to like doing the things we used to,
I
or
think
no?
everything finds its place as a tool somewhere.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
virtual reality in medical training. Maybe you're doing like a virtual reality surgery.
Yeah,
You get
yeah.
to like see everything in 3D. Same
That's
with
pretty
same
awesome.
thing with
Yeah,
augmented.
exactly. Or like cadavers. Instead of just a bunch of
Right.
cadavers, you have just a whole virtual reality right in front of you.
Yeah, you get to dissect
all
somebody
the
in
anatomy. You get to
VR.
dissect
That's gonna
it.
be
It's pretty
amazing.
awesome.
Imagine learning anatomy and you're
Oh, yeah.
literally just lifting up each
Yeah.
muscle and
Well,
each
look at
tendon.
like robotic surgeries, right? It used to be like to what it was fairly new, and bro, these patients are doing surgeries from Oregon, just
it's
doing
crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's amazing.
It's
Robotics
crazy
is
and so
crazy.
precise, and you know the infection risk is lower. You know what I'm saying? Bleeding risk is lower.
Would you rather a robot do your surgery or a human? I want to ask you.
I guess it really depends on the human. To
Is
be
the
honest
human
with you.
operating the robot?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, maybe,
yes.
possibly.
Yeah, would you rather a human operating the robot or just a human operating?
Human operating the robot,
Yeah,
but human
I
standing
agree.
by nearby.
I
just
agree.
in
Yeah,
case.
just in case. Yeah,
So
I
you get
agree. 100%.
best of both worlds?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you will. Yeah, but I don't know. That's a tough question, honestly. I mean, it depends on the human. Is he like 82 years old and just exhausted because he's
Right.
done 7 million lap
Yeah.
choles?
Some,
I'd be
some
curious-
doctors need to know when to retire. We have a
Yeah.
neurosurgeon that won't retire, and I'm getting so nervous because like he'll tell my patient, "Yeah, you know, we're gonna do a surgery." I was like, "No, dude!" Like, I literally canceled surgeries. I was
Just
like, "No,
the
you're
old
not
bag,
doing it."
the old bag with the stethoscope.
I don't want to say his name, but you know what I'm talking
Yeah, I
about,
know
right?
exactly what you're talking
Starts with a
about.
G.
Yeah, no comment.
Yeah,
It's
no
like
comment.
TV. They have this on like Grey's Anatomy and stuff. Like the old guy who's like shaking but doesn't want
Yeah,
anyone to know.
still working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you do
in
is
that
so
case?
exaggerated though.
I'd
Like,
report it. I
wrong.
wouldn't
it's like
care.
a neurosurgeon is doing open heart surgery the next
Yeah.
day. It's like
I'd report it, bro, especially if it's my patient, bro, because they're not going to harm my patient. It does not matter. Or, you know, this is the way you look at it, right? Then they're going to evaluate him. If he passes, then he passes. Then I feel better about it. But if he doesn't, then you know, you might have saved a life.
I
You
feel
know?
like if the geriatric doctor reports the old surgeon, you should be safe.
yeah, agreed.
You're not ageist.
Agreed, agreed, 100%. Especially geriatrics. Geriatrics is huge here, though, man. Like it's
Yeah,
such a big.
it's a gold
There's a
mine.
lot of older folks. I do feel like medicine in Florida isn't as good as like up north. I really like. I feel like it's not.
I mean, this isn't Boston. I don't think anyone
Yeah,
expects it to
I
be.
agree. I
Yeah,
agree.
Boston,
I agree.
New York, all of those,
Yeah,
Pennsylvania,
for sure.
all of those areas. are
Chicago.
just-
You know?
I just feel like medicine there is way better. I don't know why. Maybe more universities.
Medicine
or-
in general,
I
or
think
just
it-
the really advanced stuff?
Yeah, and teaching
Advanced-
universities. There's a lot more teaching universities, I think.
Right.
So also that's why.
Yeah.
But teaching universities always have the better medicine because they're constantly up to date. For us, you know, a lot of these hospitals here are not teaching hospitals, and
Yeah.
and you know they're old school. So
Yeah.
You grew up in Florida?
I grew up in South Florida. I did medical school in New York.
Oh,
went to
wow.
University of Florida.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
You ever worked at Mount Sinai in New York?
Yeah, I did a couple rotations at Mount
Yeah, a
Sinai.
lot of people
I
do Mount
interviewed
Sinai
there for my
rotations.
family medicine residency.
Oh,
Nice,
Mount Sinai?
nice.
Such a good,
Program.
great program,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
one in Chicago too.
Yeah, but the one in Chicago is horrible.
Yeah,
man.
compared to the New York one I heard
the
personally. yeah.
second day of rotation, they had like a full like drive-by.
Really?
Yeah, a little girl got shot.
That's Chicago.
And that was literally, like, literally, I was about to walk out and she got shot. And then all of a sudden they rushed her back in.
Oh, my
like,
gosh.
Cook County.
Yeah,
What's
Cook
the
County.
biggest things? Gun.
Yeah, it's awesome. But Cook County's,
Gun
I
war
heard,
shot.
is a fantastic teaching hospital because of the amount of stuff they
Anything
see.
with that type of trauma is
Yeah,
amazing.
it's a
Like
great
New
hospital.
Orleans,
Yeah.
the amount of like anytime like
Well, Ochsner or,
yeah,
or
Ochsner,
yeah,
LSU, all of those, like during Mardi Gras, oh my God, the
Oh,
things
yeah.
that you get to see, like voodoo stuff and drugs. And,
Yeah, it's probably
That's
nuts.
crazy. The most trauma I've ever seen in my entire medical career was on my first day ever working as a scribe.
Really?
My first
New York?
day. No, I was in Florida at the time. I was in Naples, and someone ran over their arm with a lawnmower and just mangled.
Oh, God.
Mangled. I've never seen anything like it to this
How do
day.
you run over your arm? What the hell's wrong with
I
this
don't know.
guy?
I guess it caught his arm, kept going.
Oh,
But like, yeah, just open, fingers dangling.
What
One
did they
was
do?
took him somewhere else.
Yeah,
Transferred
yeah, they have to
Get
transfer
him
to
away
trauma
from
one,
me.
bro.
Yeah,
for
but
sure.
I walked out of the hospital and I sat there just pale and I vomited in the bushes. And I'm like, Yeah.
This young guy, like, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah. Like, is
Honestly,
this
like,
going to
do
be every
medicine.
day?
Fuck this.
That's scary, man. Like
that.
they always say, like, oh, if you go into medicine and you don't vomit the first time, you're gonna be a great doctor. That's all bullcrap.
Yeah, fuck that.
Everybody
I'm
has
always
a
nauseous.
vomiting story.
Yeah, or
You
Everybody.
have
episode.
to.
Yeah,
There's no
yeah.
way.
You're
I
not
passed
human
out on
if
my
you
first
don't.
surgery too.
Yeah.
I literally.
You do get used to it. Like, we had people who go down in the cadaver lab in medical school. Like, I was fine through
the
that.
smell
Yeah.
is nasty.
It does.
Yeah, it does. But but after, but it's
But
different.
that smell
It's
is
different on a live
disgusting.
patient.
I don't know.
formaldehyde?
Would you
Yeah.
ever be like? Would you ever donate your body to like
Science?
Science?
To science, maybe. I'd have to know where it goes. I would not donate my body to medical students.
Yeah.
They're terrible. They're all grabbing your nuts.
Right. I was a medical student. I was in the cadaver
Yeah.
lab.
Like,
I don't want to be that guy.
No.
Who wants to
That
cut
guy.
off his dick? That wasn't
They
me.
are
but-
horrible, man. Look at her tits. It's like,
let's
dude,
dissect
leave the
this
woman
penis.
alone. Yeah.
Right. No, these are children. You're children in medical
They are
school. I don't
literally.
want to be the body there.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
They're
for
so
sure.
goofy too.
But God bless those people who do want to donate their bodies to medicine. Good
Yeah.
for them.
amazing.
I'm an organ donor.
Yeah.
That's-
Oh, nice.
There's some-
That's such a sensitive, like,
Yeah,
organ.
topic.
You know, there's people that say they don't want to do it because of whatever reason, but then I'm like, but if your daughter or son needs it, you're kind of happy that somebody's a like an
Yeah,
organ
saved a
donor,
life.
right?
I
Like,
guess there's a religious reason not to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
most religions, by the way, most
Yeah.
religions don't.
Yeah, because you want to get
They wanna
buried
go
with
back the way you were
the way
made, you know?
created.
So sure, I get the reasoning not to do it, but
Yeah.
if my organs can save somebody's life.
Yeah,
Why not?
I mean,
I
Why
agree.
not?
I don't know what all the answers, what's going on up there, but that's got to be some good karma. If-
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I agree. I mean, how bad of a sin is it realistically? Right. That's what you got to ask. But I mean,
And you get to live on in a way, right?
yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's
Your DNA's in
the
somebody
guy that's
else.
like, I'm not doing
Yeah,
that. Is
exactly.
like doing a line of coke and sleeping
Yeah,
with like three women.
exactly,
Like, bro,
exactly.
you're not the
So
most
Gus, my
religious
religion.
person
Yeah.
to tell me you don't want to donate
What,
your
what do
organ.
you guys think about what's going to happen with organs? Do you think we're going to be able to 3D print them? Do you
Ooh,
think
that's a good question.
selling organs should be legal? I've got my own controversial opinions on that. I think it would be a fun,
I think
productive market.
if it's your kidney and you want to sell your kidney because you have an extra kidney and you need to, it's your kidney,
right?
and it's going to save somebody else, and you need the money.
Yeah,
You know
that
what I'm
could
saying?
change your life. That could change your family's
100%.
life.
Or maybe, you know what, if you can, in your will, if you die young and you're healthy enough to donate your liver and your heart, take that money, sell it, and give it to people in need or your family or somebody. You know what I'm saying?
If
So
that
you're
was
saying like
allowed.
if somebody
If
like
that was allowed, of course.
Do you think
like if I died, that you would be able to sell my organs as
Yeah.
long as I've written permission
Yeah, that's
before
what I'm saying.
that.
If it's in
instead
your-
of them just taking it for free, that's what
Yeah,
you're saying,
if it's
right?
written permission, I mean, you could donate. If you could donate it and not have any money, but you could also you have the option to say, you know what, I'd like to sell my liver and give the money to my kids.
I mean, if you really think about
know,
it, like
or
imagine
donate to
a
a
mother,
church or a
a
mosque
mother,
or
a
a
mother or
synagogue,
father
you know?
that just lost their child, like, and then they take it, and then the hospital charges the insurance $1 million, but the family got nothing out of it. You're saying like that mother should be able to like get
Yes.
profit out of it?
I think there's a risk with that being abused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
People
going to
start
people in
killing-
poverty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start killing their children.
And also, can you sell it when you're alive? You got
Oh,
two
I see what you're
kidneys.
saying.
You can sell parts of your liver.
I think,
Yeah.
I think there should be restrictions on how.
Yes.
You
And
see what I'm
probably a
saying?
committee to approve certain things,
Certain
make sure there's no foul
exactly,
play.
Exactly. And if the person was a good person and he died naturally or a car accident or whatever it was, then a committee will sit down and decide.
Yeah.
Yeah, but who decides on that
That's
committee?
actually a really like kind of crazy topic to talk about.
That
but
is
it's-
pretty cool.
I'm sure a lot of people have thought about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did a short form video on this a while back. What are the black market prices for certain organs?
That's crazy.
If you were-
what's the most expensive? Obviously, probably the heart.
The
right?
heart is the most expensive. I think it's
Absolutely.
like $80,000 if you were to get it on the black market. Which
Really?
ain't that bad.
That's not that bad at
As a
all.
rich
That's
guy,
actually
you got
cheap.
heart disease. I'm
cheap.
80,000? That's cheap.
yeah.
Hell.
I mean, there's a
How
lot of
much is a
people in this
kidney?
world. You can get hearts from people in third world countries. I mean, not that I would,
Yeah.
but if I'm a rich guy and
Yeah.
I'm dying of heart disease, you got CHF.
That's crazy
or
to think about.
vascular
Oh,
disease.
God.
It's crazy.
There's
nuts.
people like Selena Gomez's best friend gave her a kidney. Like that was
Yeah.
crazy,
Yeah.
But then they're not.
And
Probably,
she's not allowed to pay her for that kidney. Imagine if you were. Like, you wouldn't
Yeah.
have to wait on
That
the
girl
list.
would have lived
Yeah.
good forever.
Yeah. But then there's the healthcare disparity. Rich
Yeah.
people get organs,
Get
poor
organs,
people
yeah,
don't.
of course.
Yeah.
Is
of
that
course.
fair? Is that right?
Yeah.
Like John Q. What movie was that? John Q. with
So
Denzel
good.
Washington.
Denzel.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a great
Heart.
movie.
Yeah, that's
great
a
movie.
great movie.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a true story, wasn't it? Yeah, it was in Chicago too.
Yeah, I think
it was
so.
at Cook County.
Did that really happen?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
that
it
really
is a
happened.
true
I thought it was a
story.
true story.
Wow.
You
I like
guys
that
let us know
movie
in the
even more
comments
now.
if it's a true story.
Yeah, yeah, it's a true story. No, I think check it out, Caitlin. John Q is a true story. John Q, the movie. Yeah, check it out.
It's a great story. I mean, your kid needs a new heart. What do you do? Anything.
Anything.
Whatever you need to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Even for my cats. Like, I know this sounds weird. So, like,
no, I'm with you there.
To switch it up, to switch it up a little bit, like, I used to make fun of people that had animals and that, like, loved them, and I loved them more than their own kids. Like, I never understood love until I got my cats, and, like, I absolutely love them, like, more than anybody in the world. I love them more than you, to be honest with you. That's all
good, bro. It's all good, bro.
There's a different love.
I remember that. I remember that.
So hurt.
It was so. I'm
kind of
just
broke
joking.
my heart a little bit. It's like I love your
I'm not
cats
joking,
too,
but I'm
like,
joking. You know, I'm sure you love your
up.
dogs more than
I'm just
anything.
saying,
in the
like,
More
world.
you say
than
that to your
anything
brother?
or anyone. And like I think about like the love
More
I
than
have for
your
my
brother?
dog versus my brother and sister.
Yeah. Ugh.
I don't know.
That'd be a tough one, right? Somebody asked me the other day. Wait, somebody asked me the other day, like, your best friend or your animal, and I love my best friends, but that is a really hard thing to answer. Like,
I'm just
I love
saying,
my animal.
if your cat and myself were drowning in the ocean, and you could only save one of us,
It's so hard.
so
Someone's got they're with me and they're like, it's your brother or your dog. They got a gun.
fucked up.
I don't
You guys
think I
are
could see
fucked
anything
up.
bad happen to my dog.
Dude, that's fucked up,
It's
bro. I'm
fucked
your
up.
brother.
And it's
really
probably
messed
not
up.
true. It
It's
really
not
comes
true.
down to it.
Yeah.
I'll suck it up and I'll make the right decision.
Okay.
But I'd be really disappointed. I'd probably hate you after that.
What the
no, I'm
fuck?
just joking.
That's some
This got
bullshit.
dark.
That's some
Yeah,
bullshit.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Oh,
All right, so organs. One
Yes.
way people are going to live to be 150. We were talking about this earlier before we started the episode. How old do you think we're going to see people start to live?
That's a good question.
I think with the organs being a potential variable that we're throwing in there, 3D printed organs, the potential for an organ market opening up, maybe. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know if it'll actually happen. Do you think people are going to start living to be 150, like a lot of
No.
these longevity biohackers claim?
No, I'll tell you why. Because the fibroblasts, because we're made out of fibroblasts, and fibroblasts last only 120 years. Like the oldest person. What's the oldest person we know? There's nobody that lives
think
more,
like
more
one-
than 120 years.
Like, close to 120.
Yeah, I looked this up a few years ago. The
the tel- the
fibroblasts.
Yeah, but what
Telomeres
if
were
there's
made
what
of
if there's
this-
a way to break through that and make it last longer?
So if you're thinking about it, then constantly. Okay, so skin is an organ. Are we replacing our skin? Are we
can
replacing
everything's replaceable.
So then, if we're going to constantly replace it, then you can live longer and longer. Think about it. Then what gives out? The heart's going to give out. Okay, so then you get a
can
new
replace
heart.
it.
Swap out the
Then
heart,
you keep.
cool.
Do you keep swapping
Yeah.
hearts?
Organs, yes. Skin might be tough. Brain
Skin-
might be tough.
Yeah. So okay, so skin is going to be wrinkly, and I mean, think about it.
That's
What
easy-
about like our
that's easy
vasculature?
fix.
Vascular. How do you fix that?
Nanobots going through your vascular system, clearing
Yeah.
them out.
So you clear it out from all the plaques, all the hardenings.
Yes.
Just
but like
Maybe. I'm not that
no,
technology's
I'm,
there
I'm,
right now.
I'm not
but
saying I'm not saying you're wrong. What I'm thinking about is just how is that really feasible? How?
I
I
guarantee
think
you-
what's feasible in our imagination is even more feasible in real life.
In real life?
Agreed.
Okay.
Yes.
I feel like there's wealthy people right now that.
122, the fibroblasts, right? 122. So 120 years, 122.
And how old's the oldest?
Oldest person ever.
Oldest person ever was 122. Okay,
Okay, so what? Past
about
120. Past
But
120.
I read
and
that the
I guarantee
fibroblasts
you
is
there's
120.
wealthy people right now that might look 85, but they're probably like 110.
Yeah, but how true is the 122? Maybe it's the birth certificate was incorrect.
I mean, that's true too.
122 years ago, you don't know.
You really want to outlive your children and grandchildren, like if not.
But that's a whole different topic.
But that's like
though.
emotional-
We're just
emotional
saying,
killing.
can you, like, will there be a day where you see a 150-year-old person?
Yeah, moral, ethical dilemmas aside, I think so. I
think so, too.
If there is an exponential curve with what we're learning in medicine and medical advancements, then yeah, I think by the time we're 80, 90 years old, there's going to be some wild shit out there.
Would you want to live 150?
100%.
Yeah.
If I could be an active, healthy 150, yes. Would I want to be strapped to some ventilator in a bed?
No.
No.
Nobody would.
So what if this was, or let's say it did happen,
Yeah.
but you were too old. You were 78 when they started to do it. Then what? How does that work? So you're 78 years old.
I don't know. Can we program ourselves to age backwards in
Right.
some way? Can we add
I
length
don't
to
know.
telomeres? I don't know what's going to be
Possibly.
possible.
Well, you're okay. Your heart is a 25-year-old heart, or a good, nice, fresh new heart.
Cool.
But you're 78.
Yeah.
What
How
if
does that
there's
work?
like, you know how you
What about
can-
your joints?
You know how they talk about cloning somebody?
Yeah.
What if there was a way where you're literally cloned yourself and you are now in the other body? I know that sounds stupid.
Like transfer
but
your consciousness?
Yeah, like transfer consciousness.
See, like that
gotta
stuff,
be
I don't
like-
think we understand even like a surface.
It's
Yeah.
too far out.
Yeah.
I know,
That's
but
kind of far out, but maybe. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
someone makes a breakthrough.
Yeah.
I do think if I'm 78
Yeah.
and,
then all of a sudden
everything
you're
else is worn down and I
Yeah.
haven't done the maintenance
Yeah.
that hopefully we'd be doing, Yeah, I do as much as I possibly could. My joints are crippled. Hopefully, there's something when I'm 78 to regrow my.
What about
my
genetic
cartilage.
predisposition? What about genetic issues?
Hopefully, we can
Beat
fix
that
it.
too.
I think we're already making massive breakthroughs in DNA.
Yeah, I agree.
Insane.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, and stem cell.
I'm telling you, bro, the things that they have, like there's things in Washington, like certain hospitals that they do like chromosomal analysis and like certain genetic things that will blow your mind. Like
It's just I don't know.
I did a
it's
research thing
mind-blowing
in
for me.
Washington, and like I went to this hospital that's like not for like regular people. Like Obama
Yeah.
went there and stuff like that, and they do research for like 2 years on just like they'll take your your chromosomes, and they'll break down every protein of it, and we'll let you know what you can get in 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, and they do a breakdown of everything, and they already can do that now.
Yeah, man, that'd be kind of crazy, honestly. Like, just the thought about it kind of, I don't know. I get anxious for some reason.
I think we'll see Bezos, Elon. They're gonna hit the 150 mark.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be
think so?
cool.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Holy
man.
shit.
Elon looks out of shape.
yeah.
So did Bezos.
Yeah, that's
he did.
true.
Yeah, Bezos looks
Getting
pretty
into
good
shape
now.
He looks
pretty easy now. A little
amazing.
Yeah.
Ozempic in the
Zuck?
system.
Yeah,
Looks
Ozempic,
dude,
bro.
Zuck's like a beast, dude.
Fucking Ozempic.
Yeah.
He can grapple. He
Yeah,
can.
Zuck was like 150 pounds.
I know
So
he's
wet.
like cut
now
out.
look at him. He's
I
doing
love that
MMA.
all these rich people like now want to get into health and everything else. Can we bring Daenerys here?
Let's welcome Daenerys to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh, she's so cute, bro. Look how small she is.
So I've never seen a cat like this. If you're watching,
She's a munchkin.
Look at the legs on this cat. I've never seen anything like it. It's the cutest thing.
She's nervous. It's her first time on camera.
It's like a normal sized cat, but the legs are like 2 inches each.
Yeah. So with munchkins, their face and their legs are small. And with her, what's so cool is that normally they're all white, but she has like a gray tail and gray ears and
Oh, she's
everything else.
beautiful color.
Beautiful, right? Yeah,
All right, let's
she's
get
so
back,
cute,
sorry.
Yeah, she's so cute. Oh, she's just chilling. Look
How
at her.
old do cats live?
15 to 20.
Did you see recently there was some breakthrough medicine treatment for cats specifically that's supposed to double their lifespan?
Really?
Swear to God.
Don't
I don't know if
joke,
we have
bro.
anyone
I
that
will
can
pay
look this
whatever.
up right now.
I will
Like, where
pay.
do we
I'll
go?
sell my house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something
I have
related to growth hormones, suppressing growth hormone in
Wow.
the animal made it live a lot longer.
That's amazing.
It worked?
Specifically in cats. I think it's still in early stages, but yeah.
They're
think
young, so maybe in like 5-10 years I'll be able to.
I think sooner. I think this is coming down the pipeline fast. I don't know what the FDA gets involved,
Yeah,
what
of
the
course.
timeline is for animal
Yeah,
medications.
Yeah.
I guarantee you,
yeah.
people watching are more interested in that than the humans.
Yeah,
How
oh,
much
absolutely.
would you pay to double the lifespan of your cat? I would pay a lot of money.
A lot,
Yeah,
like
a
a
lot.
lot,
For dogs,
Like
too.
I would pay whatever it takes.
Right, if it works on cats, my
cats,
guess is it
imagine.
will.
They're
Also
my
also
work
probably
on
like
work
they're
on
literally my
dogs.
happiness.
Yeah.
Like if I come home and they're not there, I would be super depressed. Like when I go on vacation, I can't wait to come back just because I want to see them.
What does a cat do when you get back from vacation? I know dogs go nuts. My dog, I know
so
it's
they-
coming and he's scratching at my face.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm defending, but he gets me every time.
They come, they run, and then they lay on their back.
Aw.
When they lay on their back, that's like they trust you 100%. And they miss you, so she usually lay on her back and like rub her, and then she'll kind of like rub her head on you. There's certain ways they show love. Not all cats the same. Munchkins are like known for like being emotional support.
yeah?
Yeah.
I love cats, but I'm more of a dog person, honestly. I don't know. I just feel like I can, 'cause, like they have catitude, I call it. You know, like when I come and I see them, like they love me, but like they kind of like, you know, what
Cats
do you
are
want,
independent.
kinda,
You can
They
automate
are.
their life. You can
That's
leave them
why
for a
I
week
like
and come
them.
back and they won't know the
Yeah.
difference.
Do you have a cat, right? You have a cat?
No, I've got
you
a
have
dog.
You have a dog.
I got a
I know.
golden
You know.
Beautiful dogs.
Yeah, what's your dog's name again?
Moses.
Moses.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love
Your
that
dogs
name.
are really cute.
Yeah.
Thank
yeah,
you.
they-
So-
I just didn't want like my friend had a dog, and every time we went out, I gotta go home. I gotta go home. I gotta
Yeah.
feed them. I gotta take them out. They're gonna poop everywhere.
Yeah, you're right.
I think that like really like made me paranoid about having
They're
a
way
dog.
higher maintenance.
Yeah.
Like,
Fact.
I feel like the
Yeah.
emotional connection you get
It's
with
different.
a dog, the friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's a friend.
I've never met a cat. I was like, that's my friend. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna play with this cat. It's gonna interact with me
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
They are.
I agree. That's
These
that's
are-
my issue.
That
will
one's
say-
not as good as a cat as I've ever seen. Just sitting there
Yeah.
like a baby.
Just baby. Yeah,
Every
chilling.
single night she comes in, goes under the blankets, and she sleeps in my arm every night.
Yeah,
like
that's
she
adorable.
shows me a lot of affection.
Does a little kneading
Yeah,
thing.
and cats.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, I love that.
Cats also are like kind of like as long as you got food, they'll do anything.
Yeah.
Same with dogs, but they're more like that.
What
Like,
do they do there? That purr? They purr?
Yeah,
They purr.
I genuinely think that like a cat that purrs, there has to be some like neurons or something that activates serotonin because There's no better feeling in the world than your cat when it like purrs on you.
Purrs,
When it starts
really?
It's a soothing sound, a
Oh
very
my
soothing
God.
sound.
And the feeling of it is just, there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
It's like a connection you have with them.
Yeah.
I used to hate cats.
Yeah,
I
he
was
used to.
the biggest cat hater ever. I was a big dog person. And then until I got my munchkin and it changed my life.
Yeah.
I never hated cats, but
I did not
they were
like
never
them.
friends.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, one day.
all my friends' cats were aggressive. They always hid.
Yeah,
they
some
never,
cats are assholes.
Yeah.
That's exactly. It's the catitude. I'm telling you. I
Yeah.
hate it's the damn
I never
catitude.
hate attitudes. Terrible.
Yeah.
That's a new
Catitude,
thing.
yeah, bro. I
Sorry,
call it
I know
catitude.
we went on an off topic with cats, and Daenerys has been.
But longevity, cats. I think we're gonna see the lifespans of our animals double over the
Yeah?
course of our lifetime.
That would be nice.
That's so
I've got my
exciting.
dog eating farmer's dog now, the human grade like frozen food that they send you.
Really?
Yeah, they've been on it for like 2 months. They're just like much happier,
Really?
more energetic. Their coats are awesome. They
Yeah.
enjoy eating. And all the vets that I've talked to are like, we don't do that. We use science diet, the kibble.
Yeah.
And just intuitively, like, there's no way that that's as good.
Yeah.
No,
There's,
there's no way.
There's no way.
Yeah,
What
I
about-
agree.
I know this
agree.
is kind of weird. Two things. One, like when your dog has the surgery, right? And they put the cone. Are you for the cone or against the cone?
I'm kind of for the cone.
Okay.
Although my dog refuses to wear it.
Yeah, my
so
breeder was like, absolutely not. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think it's good for them. I mean, they're licking it. They don't know what it is. They don't know
Yeah.
the difference. They're
Yeah.
just like,
But
this is irritating.
their
I feel
tongue is
like it's just
antibacterial.
irritating them.
Cats' tongues, like their saliva is antibacterial.
Yeah.
So when they did their surgery, I did not put the cone, even though the surgeon said it. But the breeder was like, I know my cat. They do not need it. She never licked it once. She never scratched it once. She
Interesting.
did perfectly fine. I kept it on the first day, and she
Yeah.
went crazy. She was smashing
my
herself
dog
against the
fucking
wall,
hates
and she
it.
was
Oh, yeah,
like,
he'll probably go nuts.
she was so depressed. Hi, Bubba.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I mean, when the groomer nicks my dog because they like got too close with the buzzer and he's just like sitting there eating it,
Yeah, yeah,
scratching it,
it.
does not get better.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's a good
Yeah,
point.
for
That's a
real.
good point. That's a good point.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
God,
and
this is,
I spend like every day with him, so if he's doing something, I'd be like, buddy, fucking
yeah,
cut
he's
it
like your
out.
best friend.
Yeah.
He's like your best friend. You can talk to him when you're happy, when you're
He's
sad.
an
and he
off-leash
hugs you,
boy
man.
too. He's a good boy. He just walks with
And
me.
I don't think there's no better feeling than when you come home from work or when you've been on a vacation, you come home to your dog, and that joy, that smile that he gives you.
So excited. To
So
get back
I
there.
heard, I don't know if maybe you can tell. I heard this true that I feel like when you leave the house, for some reason, dogs believe that you're not coming back, and that's why they're always excited to see you when you get back. Is that true?
That kind of, I've never heard that before, but that's
Like,
kind of cool.
When you leave, it's like they feel like, okay, he's not gonna come back. So that's why they're all like sad when you leave. But when you do come back, every single time you come back, they're freaking out, right?
Right.
Like, oh my god, he's home, he's home, he's
Who's
home.
smarter,
Right?
cats or dogs?
Cats too.
Yeah, cats.
I think cats
don't
are
know.
smarter than dogs.
I don't know. It's the personality. I mean, do they do tricks? No.
Yeah.
But do they seem
Yeah,
more
true.
poised and mature? Sure.
Yeah, maybe they're more mature
They
and kind
do
of like.
tricks.
Can
Do they?
she do a trick?
I mean, no, but
I've never seen a cat do a single
I've
trick.
never-
other than
I'll send you video.
Maybe
that
on
movie where
America's
the
Got
cat
Talent.
flushes
America's
some
Got
poop.
Talent had like some cats doing some crazy tricks, but that lady was
compared
just
to
crazy.
the dogs on American
Oh no,
Got Talent?
absolutely not.
Okay,
Dogs
okay, yeah.
There's
What is-
somersaults and
Right.
dancing salsa.
But time out. Is
Yeah.
the best athlete in the world the smartest?
I don't think you can say that.
Yeah, it's,
I think the intelligence is different.
yeah, I agree, and I think it's how they're brought up also and how they're trained. I think you
Yeah.
look at German shepherds. I mean, these people are like they
Right.
can
What
give
is the
CPR
measure
now.
of an animal's intelligence? I don't know.
It's
Yeah.
I
I
think
don't
it's
know.
just it's difficult to
Dogs
measure.
are, I guess, more obedient. That might not mean they're more intelligent.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I don't know.
I mean, you also have dogs and I have cats, so like,
Yeah.
So I know we went off a whole different topic. I did want to ask you. So like, remember I told you like I saw your videos. I got into it made me excited to go into social media. What is some advice that you would give like somebody in medical school that like loves your content and wants to do something similar? Where would you start? Like, would you just start with like just your phone, letting people know who you are and what you do, your daily like vlogging? Like, what do you recommend?
I think it's so, and everyone's gonna say this. It's based on goals. Like
Okay.
if you're in medical school and you want to just be like famous and notable on social media, make a couple extra bucks, then yeah, document your journey. I think the problem with that is once you're out, your journey changes,
True.
and you got to be very careful with what you document, especially as a doctor who's got a license and they're associated with an institution.
So
For sure.
hard,
I
man.
don't think the risk is worth
Yeah.
it.
I agree. I
don't think the risk is worth it. Now, if you want to go off on your own, disaffiliate with institutions, open a private practice, I think the whole world is your oyster, and there's going to be no competition out there.
Yeah,
That's
that makes
actually
sense.
a very.
great
I did
line.
want to ask you, how does it feel? Because obviously you're not like a practicing physician. How does it feel to not worry about Medicare, to not worry about your license,
Billing.
to not worry about this? Like being able to post whatever you want, say what you want, any of that? Because obviously we're always restricted. We're always nervous to say things and what to talk about. Vaccines, no vaccines. Everything is so like scary to talk about. How does it feel to like not worry about that? It's nice, right?
I don't think I have as much of that as you think I do.
Oh, okay.
There's always something that you're worrying about. I'm not worrying about HIPAA. I'm not worried about Medicare or the hospital. But now I'm worried about saying something that might politically piss off my organization. I've got 64 employees. I posted something about buying a new jet ski a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Got in a bunch of trouble with my HR department, my co-founder.
Wow.
People started complaining, like, hey, you bought a jet ski.
Yeah. There's those haters. You're gonna find these haters 100%.
So there is way more than I think it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not like free.
And I'm representing an organization. So if I say something that reflects on the organization, we lose clients who follow me.
For sure.
So there's always something. But I will say it feels good not to have like the medical institution breathing down my neck. And the entrepreneurial community is much more forgiving than the medical community.
Than the medical community, fact.
If you make a claim or a statement or associate with yourself with the company or a person in the medical community, you're screwed. They will have your ass.
Absolutely.
I don't have that anymore. I love the community that I'm in now much more.
Yeah, that's perfect, man. Well, honestly, we had a blast. I love this episode.
We could talk for 10 hours, and
I
feel like Jay's
talk
like
for another
family.
hour, but I realized that we're gonna run out of space on these SD cards. Jay, listen, we love having you, and I think also we're gonna probably most likely come on your show as well.
Yes, sir.
If it's okay with you. Last time we went, we lost the footage, and we were just like so angry because we had a great conversation.
I know. It's like the first 3 weeks we had the studio built. There's still white curtains hanging up in the background.
Yeah, I remember.
But it was such a good experience,
I'm so
honestly.
sorry about that.
For us, it was a great experience.
We'll redo it. We'll redo it.
We'll blow it up.
But would you also would love to have you on again if it's all right with you at a certain time? We'll talk. And but I feel like this was a fantastic time. We had a blast.
This is a blast.
Thank you,
I'm
man.
honored that you
man.
guys invited me into your home.
Yes.
Honestly, the pleasure's
Introduced
all
me to your
ours.
cats.
Honestly,
Yes.
man.
I love talking to you guys. I think we were here for an hour doing this.
Yes,
literally,
I know.
literally,
It
it's
felt
been
like
for
the
an
blink
hour.
of an eye. So
Literally,
thank you.
bro.
Honestly,
Literally
this is
blink.
one of the longest ones we've done. We normally don't do more than half an hour.
Yeah, half an hour. This is at least almost
These
an hour.
are great topics. So
Yeah, perfect,
we appreciate
man.
it.
So
Man. Honestly,
thank you.
didn't feel like we even needed to prepare. When we talked last thing, we're like, should we prepare? And we literally said no. With him, it's just so fun to just naturally talk and just whatever comes to mind, just talk with him and ask him the right questions.
Fun shit.
We
it was
we
fun.
did. Fuck yeah, we did.
Hell
It was
yeah.
awesome. Thank you guys. Have a fantastic night. We'll see you later. All right. Well, this is Daenerys.
Kitty. That cat's a rock star. Look at those little legs,
star.
those little sausage legs.
That'll be our ending with the Daenerys' face. That's perfect. All right, guys. Have a fantastic night.